Hey everyone, Brian here. So we're kind of already 1 month into the new year, and I kind of want to get back on track uploading some content here, and I've kind of got like a dozen things already lined up for everybody. But to kind of work our way in, there's a video kind of doing a recap from something I attended in November involving computers, and particularly vintage computers, that you all might find interesting. So let's take a look at that now. So I finally gotten around to following up on something from last Sunday. I attended a vintage retro computer meetup at the Chantilly Regional Library up in Chantilly, Virginia, which is Nova or Northern Virginia. We managed up to 40 people from Virginia, Maryland, and other nearby areas, and they all agreed there just isn't such a thing like this much anymore. So this was a nice getaway with fellow computer peeps. I proceeded up with my Packard Bell Legend 100 CD, the IBM ES12121, Compaq DeskPro EP Series desktop, and the IBM NetVista A40p desktop. I managed to get them all in my car alongside 2 LCD monitors, a projector, which I used with the Packard Bell, which made it pretty interesting, and all the keyboards, mice, wires, and other various accessories needed in the car. So, anyway, to note the systems there, aside from the ones that I've already mentioned that I brought, and this is kind of just an overview that you'll see in the video there, but for some examples, we had an Atari Stacy there that was unpowered because it couldn't boot up. The owner was having trouble with it, where we could see that it was drawing current from the power supply, but it just wouldn't turn on or anything like that, so it was having some issues there, but you were able to look at it. We certainly had a number of things Apple-related there. We actually had an Apple Pippin game console that had been hacked to run System 7. And seeing an Apple Pippin game console in person is a rare thing already, because the Pippin was not a commercially successful game console. There was an S100 bus computer there, and S100 bus computers were like the Altair 8080. So I was familiar with that. And he had a MIT Soundcard from 1977 operating on it through a telnet setup through a terminal, and that way he was able to play music through it. So that was probably the oldest device we had there playing music. And speaking of audio and music, we also had a conventional tape system there with 2 reels spinning away going out to a TASCAM audio setup. So we had authentically played music there via this tape system and this TASCAM unit hooked up with it. So that was interesting to see running there. So we had music going on in the background in an authentic retro way. We had, of course, a couple of Apple II systems as well. As I say, there's plenty of Apple II stuff there. So stuff like the Apple IIc and Apple II GS were on display. There was a Macintosh Portable there, which was their portable system that had lead-acid batteries, so it was a hunky, heavy Macintosh computer. They wanted to carry it around. Of course, we had stuff from Commodore. We had a Commodore 64 with Homebrew game controllers that were made for it that do work. There was also a Commodore VIC-20 there with it as well from the same person. Speaking of game stuff, we had a Vectrex there as well that was working that I actually played around with for a little bit. So yeah, we had a Vectrex as well. Somebody had a desktop system running Windows Chicago, and Windows Chicago was the build name for Windows 95. And so this was all pre-release and stuff like that. So if you wanted to tinker around with what Windows 95 was like during its build process, and the 360 video will be viewable via a link in the description or through one of the balloons on the video here, so you'll be able to do the whole 360 pan, tilt, zoom, and everything like that for those that want to see the authentic 360 video and explore the meetup that way. All in all, though, I think it was a good meetup, and everyone's already looking forward to the one there next year in the spring when we get the library reserved for that. Otherwise, we probably have it more often, but it's just at times we can get the room there. And again, I'm sure we'll have more people and more systems on display. And I did meet, again, several people there of various backgrounds in information technology, as I mentioned, including some other content creators like myself. So they've certainly reflected it on their their social medias as well already, and if you go to my 360 video, you'll see links to at least 2 of them that I mentioned in there. So, I'll wrap it up here. Hey guys, Brian here. Do me a favor and click that like button down below, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content when I post it. See you guys in the next one.